Hello and welcome to the Channel 1 Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Owula Hansen Lane at Tesano. I'm Frema Edunyame. Coming up, Kwawu Traditional Council petitions IGP to investigate dawn arrest of Chief and Queen Mother of Kwawu. ECOWAS Court throws out Justice Gertrude Tokono's application to halt fact-finding committee's work. Debate on 2026 budget intensifies as minority takes swipe at government's proposal to spend $1.2 billion on 2 presidential jets.
The government, the Speaker, in spite of all these problems, the government wants to spend $1.2 billion United States dollars.
Retooling of the Air Force, and the figure there, capex, is $2,532 million Ghana cedis.
Government responds to protesting unposted graduate teachers with promise to employ 6,100 teachers from 2023 cohorts.
Cabinet gave approval for us to recruit some 6,100 more teachers, and therefore that category of teachers which belong to the 2023 cohort are adequately captured.
In Channel 1 Business. Producer price inflation falls from 3.2% to 1.4% in October 2025. And in Channel 1 Sports, Curacao makes history as the smallest nation ever to qualify for the FIFA World Cup 2026. Many thanks for joining us. Let's begin from Parliament, where the minority has slammed the government's proposal to spend $1.2 billion on 2 presidential jets and 4 helicopters over the next 4 years, arguing that the funds could be better spent on pressing issues like teacher recruitment, nurse salaries, road contractor payments, and addressing food shortages. The caucus addressed journalists after a heated debate on the matter on the floor of the House. There is more in the following report.
During a debate on the 2026 budget on the floor of Parliament on Wednesday, the Member of Parliament for Damango, Samuel Jinapo, stated that the government intends to procure presidential aircraft to the tune of $1.2 billion. This sparked strong opposition from the majority caucus.
The government, the Speaker, in spite of all these problems, the government wants to spend $1.2 billion United States dollars to purchase presidential debts. To purchase presidential debts. 1.2 billion Ghana cedis to purchase presidential debts.
The third item under Ministry of Defense is retooling of the Air Force. Retooling of the Air Force. And the figure there, capex, is $2,532 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, how can you say that when you convert 2 billion, you get $1 billion? How can you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis and get $1 billion? Some 1.29 million, right?
You are dividing it by what? You are dividing it by what?
$1.29 billion. Your Boko mathematics is suspect. Majority leader, revisit your Boko mathematics.
Is it a good way of spending our taxes? Is it a prudent step to take in the circumstances we find ourselves in our country where nurses are agitating for recruitment, where farmers are having a raw and bad deal across the length and breadth of our country, in the farming enclaves of our country, where rice is rotting in warehouses, where maize is not being purchased, and everybody is feeling very tight in terms of circulation of money in our country. Is this supposed to be the priority of our government?
Reporting for Channel 1 News from Parliament, Ni Ayukwe Okain.
Now, for more on the debate, we are joined in the studio by the NDC MP for Zebila Ebenezer Ndebila, who also serves on Parliament's Agriculture Committee. You're welcome, Honourable, to Channel 1 Newsroom.
Thank you very much, Freeman.
Right now, the minority says that the overall outlook of the budget does not reflect the true state of the economy. In fact, they've made reference to the exchange rate and inflation as being engineered. So this is not the clear picture. What do you say to this?
Yeah, I don't expect anything different from them than what they have said, because you don't expect the minority to come and praise government for doing something good. But I know within them, behind the scenes, when we meet one-on-one, some of them actually, you know, they talk good about the economy. They actually express some kind of happiness in the way the economy has been handled so far. Because, you know, you remember before that was in 2024, you saw what happened. Even members of parliament ganged up against the finance minister. They had issues with the way he was managing the economy. And they took very serious stance and said he must leave the office. And they wanted him out. And so they will not agree to say openly that what the NDC has done so far is good.
Well, they base their claim on their observation that Ghanaians, you know, are not feeling the supposed impact of these favorable indicators.
Which is not, it is very false. You and I go to the market together and we see what is happening on the market today. Things are reducing. How much is a bag of cement today? In 2024, how much was a bag of cement?
But how much is a bucket of tomatoes?
That's a seasonal product. Tomato is a seasonal product. As and when there's, you know, enough tomato, then the price, you know, it comes down. And when there's a shortage of it, then the price go up. That is a seasonal product. But we're looking at prices of things that are very common on the market, like the price of cement, price of rice, the rice that we eat today, how much were we buying it, 5 kg, how much was it, and how much is it today? A bag of cement was around 100, and I remember I bought 100, and from my ends, 140 Ghana cedis, one bag of cement. Today, in my village, not even the constituency capital, my own village, I buy a bag of cement at 107 Ghana cedis. In Accra here, a bag, some areas...
You are building?
Where?
No, I'm just asking. You
of course, I was
course.
building at home. I was building.
Right.
I have projects, so I was building.
Of course,
when I was home.
Sure.
So what I'm saying is that price of cement at the time was very high. Today, prices are going down. With food stuff, like in terms of maize, how much was a bag of maize? A bag of maize was around 800, 900. Today, if you go to the village, you get a bag of maize at 400 Ghana cedis. Even in Accra here, you can get a bag of maize around 500 Ghana cedis. So that tells you that price of goods are going down. Now, what are the indicators? What are the factors that are making those things to go down? Right. It's about inflation. Generally, everything is a bit low. And if you come to talk about exchange rate is going down. And so people, business owners do not need so much money, you know, to exchange for the dollar in order to go bring goods. And so because of that, prices of goods on the market are relatively cheaper than before. So yes, they have the right to say whatever they want, but the reality is that things are far better than the era of the NPP.
They also raised the issue of government's commitment to the 24-hour economy. According to the minority, they are not seeing enough commitment from the government to see this through.
You see, for them, they don't even know the definition of 24-hour economy.
Tell us, what is it?
Of course, they have said a number of times. What we are saying is that a 24-hour economy is an economic system
Right.
where there will be 3 shifts, you know, one job, 3 shifts.
Right.
3, you know, 3 shifts, 3, like
3 employments.
3 employments.
Exactly.
One
Yeah.
job, but you have about 3 shifts.
break it down.
So you break it down, says that somebody goes in the morning, there will be 3 shifts. Then that means many people are going to be employed in that one job
Right.
to do. Are you getting it? They say that that is not the definition for 24-hour
Is it in operation now?
No, but see, it is a process. You have seen
Right.
that some of the institutions, even some of the government institutions, have even started implementing it. And it's going to work more even on the private sector.
Right.
And we're rolling out some of the industrialization projects in 2026. And what we say is that, you know, this is what works very well in the manufacturing sector,
Right.
where you use, you know, manpower, where laborers work, you know, you use a lot of laborers in working.
Right.
And so there'll be 3 shifts. Then that will help in, you know, reducing, what's the name? Increasing job opportunities for people.
But would it mean that these are permanent jobs, or these will be temporary runs? You know, for instance, with what will happen in the road sector, for instance, I mean, employing like 800 people who come in, you know, as hands-on to do stuff. These are not permanent jobs. Are these the kind of processes or the kind of jobs we are looking when we talk about 24-hour economy?
You see, I have always believed in this finance principle that the higher the higher the risk, the higher the returns. Every short-term job even pays higher
Right.
than a long-term job. You see, in the road sector, where we're talking about the big push happened to bring about 800,000 jobs, people are going to learn some new skills. It's not just about a job.
Yeah.
You are entering the job market, you are going to learn some new skills while on the job. So even if that road construction is over, your chances of getting a job in the same sector is very easy. Because already you have the skills, you have the knowledge, and
Right.
that you are able to fit into similar roles if such opportunity comes, and then you apply.
Right.
So it's not just about the job on the spot, but I also believe that the higher the risk, the risk, the higher the returns, and the higher the risk is the fact that the job is of a short tenure. And once it's a short tenure, it pays more.
Well, let's now look at the issues with agriculture properly. You know, when I mentioned the tomato, you stated clearly that it's a seasonal produce, correct? You know, now we have food lots. How are we handling all these? You know, the rice, the eggs, everything. How are we handling it?
Already, you know already what we are doing. You know what the president has ordered. President has ordered for them to buy the eggs.
Yeah. The
Buy
buffer
the
stock.
eggs from buffer stocks to buy the eggs and give it to the school feeding caterers to feed the students, our children in the secondary schools, to increase their nutritious needs.
Do they have the financial standing to do this? Because the buffer stock, you know, needs 77 million to do
the
this.
president had
Yeah.
already asked the finance minister to release 200 million to buffer stock to take care of the excesses, to take care of the excess stock on the market or in the system. And they are going to the maize, mopping up the excesses on the market, going into even tomato. Tomato was one of the crops that were you know on the news, and the president ordered for them to mop up the excess or the surpluses on the system. The same thing with the eggs. So this is a government that is listening. This is a pro-poor government. A government that listens to the poor, the needs of the ordinary person, and taking steps to ensure that not just supporting the ordinary person, like our children, to have better food to eat, but also helping the poor farmer who has suffered and toiled to produce food, and that food would have gone waste if it were not for the intervention of the president.
But what is government doing to ensure that we deal with these challenges? Because every year we come back to, you know, food wastage, and then we still also have to deal with shortages and all. I don't know if in Parliament your committee is dealing with, you know, practical measures to handle these situations.
I think if you look at the 2026 budget, we are not looking at just helping production of produce, but we're looking at developing value chains.
Right.
So in the vegetable, you know, market, we are looking at developing some crop value chains. Tomato will be one of them. most of the, especially the perishable goods. Yeah. Tomato will be one of them, pepper will be one of them, so that the support starts from the production stage to processing. So the government will come in to support in the establishment of some factories that will help in processing these produce, at least so that it will help develop a value chain that will even help employ many people, and then also help the poor farmer who produces and most at times get losses as a result of a glut.
Now, I'm sure one project, that you would find very interesting because it's in your region is the Kwalugu Multipurpose Dam. What is the plan for this, in dealing with irrigation issues, controlling flooding and all that? What's the plan?
The initial plan that we've had as a country was to see how that good facility or asset that God has bequeathed us can be turned into something very positive. Unfortunately, we all saw what happened in the last few years, where some $11 million was committed into it, given to some consultant who did absolutely nothing. In fact, I did in 2024, I was part of the team that went there with the media people, and there was absolutely nothing to show that 11 million had gone into this project. This government is committed. We are committed into actually see the development of the Kwalugu Multipurpose Dam. And it is supposed to be used as a hydro dam that will help in the generation of electricity. And then also use as irrigation purpose. That is even what it's been used for. Currently, it is used for irrigation purposes. Right. But how is irrigation done? It's just done, farmers. So
government has plans.
Government has plans as part of the plans for 2026 to have it as developed into a hydro system that will help in generating power and also used for irrigation activities along the Volta Basin. From my constituency all along, whenever there's a spillage of the Bagre Dam, my constituents suffer the most because we are the first to receive it. In fact, we received the heavy burden before it even
the more reason why it's important.
Very important to me. Very important.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ebenezer Ndebila, NDCMP for Zebila. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Very grateful.
Right now, moving on, the Kwewu Traditional Council has officially petitioned the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohunu, to investigate the raid and arrest of the Kwewu Hene Dasebre Kwamwa Boateng III and the Queen Mother of Kwewu, Nana Adwa Jimfua at the Benin Palace. Channel 1 News' Ni Amate Kanaku has the rest of this report.
There's uneasy calm in the Kwewu enclave following Monday dawn's arrest of Kwewu Hene and Queen Mother by police personnel from the National Police Headquarters in Accra. A number of chiefs on the Kwewu Ridge are displeased by the operation, which they believe was carried out unlawfully, gathered at the Abetifi Chief's Palace to express their displeasure. Addressing the press in Kwewu, the Trafo Hene of Kwewu Traditional Council, who doubles as the chief of Kwewu Tafo, Nana Kwesi Opoku Minta II, condemned the raid by the police. Kwewu Adontin Hene and Chief of Abetifi, Achamfo Esiedu Ajimai III, explained that it will be prudent for the police personnel to render an apology to the deities following the public display of emotion and pain by Dasebre Kwamwa Boateng III, as seen in a viral video.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, has clarified reports suggesting that Interpol removed a red notice alert issued against former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. In a public notice issued on Wednesday, November 19, 2025, the OSP described the report as born of mischief and misinformation. The statement comes after media outlets claimed that Interpol had withdrawn the red notice following investigations into the circumstances surrounding the OSP's request, despite the fact that no formal charges have been filed against Mr. Ofori-Atta. Meanwhile, private legal practitioner Martin Pigbu, after meeting with the OSP, insists on the removal of Kisi Jabin as the special prosecutor. The meeting has been adjourned after he and his legal team raised preliminary objections during the session. Mr. Pigbu was invited alongside Media Journal over comments he made alleging corruption within the office of the special prosecutor and claims that the office looked away as former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta left the country. Speaking to City News after meeting with the OSP officials, Martin Pigbu said he will vigorously push for the removal of the special prosecutor, insisting there are acts of corruption and serious institutional failures at the OSP. Pigbu said he stands by his claims, including the allegations that the OSP failed to stop former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta from leaving the country and vows to pursue the matter until it's fully addressed.
The hearing couldn't go far because we raised some legal issues. There was an attempt to restrict me to one lawyer. So we pointed out to the officer who said so that, no, that's a very serious constitutional matter. You can't restrict a person who is being invited to appear before a committee to one lawyer. No, that's not our law. I started raising especially the matter that for Ofori-Atta to leave Ghana with Kisi Jabin stopping him, I smell something, okay? Right? And true, as we kept beating it in the public, finally you see that Kisi Jabin came and confessed. That, look, let's not take that for granted. That's something big we should be looking at. That Ghanaians started, I'm not the only one. Many Ghanaians have been raising that they suspect something, people were getting very upset and talking on the various media, social media, traditional media, etc. And finally, Kisi came to confess that, yes, I saw the man, except that I went here, I didn't get help, allegedly, because I've spoken with people and NIB people are denying. They're saying that Kisi didn't come to them for help. We'll come into the details when we get there, right? So the other institutions that were named, we'll see. When it gets there, we'll see what they will also say. Our chief corruption fighter, at least on paper, the OSP is a specialized agency to deal with corruption. So he's the arrowhead. For him to see his key suspect, the crown jewel, right? The King Kong, going out of Ghana, and it didn't occur to him to come and do Ankwa Numa press conference part 2. It beggars belief, and it's something we will not let go. That alone is sufficient for Kisi Jabin to leave the office.
The ECOWAS Court of Justice has dismissed former Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo's application seeking temporary prohibition orders to halt the work of the committee that investigated her removal from office. The court also rejected a preliminary objection from the government of Ghana, which argued that a regional court lacked jurisdiction to hear the case. In its ruling on Wednesday, November 19, 2025, the ECOWAS court held that although the former Chief Justice had established a prima facie case alleging human rights violations, she failed to demonstrate the urgency required for the court to issue temporary orders stopping the committee's proceedings. Now, away from that, the Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, has responded to protests by unposted colleges of education graduates with the assurance that Cabinet has approved the recruitment of 6,100 additional teachers. The protesters, made up of 2022 and 2023 graduates of colleges of education, had earlier submitted petitions to the Ministries of Education and Finance, urging government to grant them financial clearance for posting. Channel 1 News' Manuel Ayama was with the coalition during the protest and reports.
Protests by the coalition of unemployed trained teachers of the colleges of education are not new. For years, various cohorts have staged demonstrations demanding posting, along with several petitions and appeals to the Ministry of Education. On Wednesday, the coalition hits the streets calling for the immediate posting of the backlog of 2022 and 2023 graduates whom they say have been adversely affected by prolonged unemployment. At the Ministry of Education, tensions rose as the group insisted on presenting the petition directly to the minister. After close to an hour, the group gave in and handed the petition to the Deputy PRO of the Ghana Education Service. And proceeded to the Ministry of Finance, where the Director of General Administration received the petition on behalf of the ministry. The President of the coalition, Godwin Ejay, passionately appealed for financial clearance.
We need our financial clearance. We are more than 13,000 circulation of valid moments of clearance. We are more than that. 17,000 to be precise, 2023. So we are begging Daddy, let our boss and yourself do the needful.
Meanwhile, at a press briefing, Minister for Education Haruna Idrisu announced that Cabinet has approved the recruitment of 6,100 teachers, all from the 2023 graduate cohort, who he said have already been captured in government recruitment records.
I understand that some striking teachers are looking for us on the streets of Accra. And then to respond to them, that Cabinet gave approval for us to recruit some 6,100 more teachers. And therefore, that category of teachers which belong to the 2023 cohort are adequately captured.
Reporting for Channel 1 News from the Ministry of Finance, I am Manuel Ayama.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education has announced that all special needs schools in the country will completely be fee-free starting January 2026, pending Cabinet approval. Education Minister Haruna Idrisu reviewed this during an engagement with the media on the government's allocations to the ministry in the 2026 budget. There's more in the following report.
Education Ministry Haruna Idrisu says a policy proposal has been presented to Cabinet seeking approval to remove all fees for special needs schools nationwide. If approved, the policy will make education in all special needs institutions free from January 2026, along with the provision of additional learning equipment to improve access for persons living with disabilities.
We intend under the $180 million to complete 30 community-day senior high schools, what is referred to as the E-block. So I recognize that the Director General of GTEC is in. When I get to teacher education, I'll come to you and see what we're able to do together. And then for higher education, we want to establish 2 new technical universities in Jessican, Techima, and Damango.
Haruna Idrisu also noted that government plans to complete 30 community day senior high schools across the country under the 2026 budget allocation.
I have submitted a comprehensive policy paper to Cabinet to look at the possibility of introducing free education for all learners in special and integrated schools across the country. I intend that if I get the support of the President and Cabinet, for which I trust I have, from 1st January 2026, we should be able to provide for the needs of all learners with special needs in our country.
The Education Ministry has made a series of commitments in terms of infrastructure development, among others. It is therefore expected that all of these policies will be followed through to ensure that its purpose is fulfilled for Ghanaians to feel their benefits. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I am Samuel Apo.
This is the Channel 1 Newsroom. Still to come. Producer price inflation PPI falls from 3.2% to 1.4% in October 2025. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Having the right diagnosis can save your life. Welcome to SynLab. Inside the state-of-the-art facility, patients have the benefits of cutting-edge technology, experienced lab technicians, personalized care in our ultra-modern clinic, and most importantly, answers.
I've been doing all my tests at MedLab for over 20 years, till they rebranded to SynLab. You know, he was just a little boy when I started bringing him to MedLab. Oh, sorry, SynLab.
SynLab. SynLab is the new MedLab.
My family trusts SynLab.
At SynLab, our highly trained personnel give our clients personalized attention every step of the way.
SynLab is the preferred option for your annual routine health checks to avoid negative health surprises.
SynLab is the new MedLab.
SynLab, medical excellence for you.
Papa no no, papa no no, papa no no, papa no no, no, papa no no, Ankasa. Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more super. And the Polytank we did.
Polytank, papa no Ankasa.
Hey Ghana. So you people know Miss Brother once more. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the greats. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa, faha.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Obey you later.
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter what you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it toy, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
You're welcome back. Up next is Channel 1 Business with Netele Nete Ajaho.
Channel 1 Business is brought to you by MTN and EcoBank.
You're not sure what caused the panic, but if you're
Masquerades are scary, but bills shouldn't scare you. Be one of 10,000 lucky winners when you deposit multiples of 400 Ghana cedis or take a loan in multiples of 4,000 Ghana cedis to win up to 1.5 million Ghana cedis in cash and prizes, 1-year insurance cover, and more. Tap into vibes in the EcoBank 5-Star Enjoyment Promo. Up to 15% discount when you use our cards and digital platforms. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. EcoBank will never call or text asking you to verify sensitive information like your PIN, Ghana card, or bank card information. Pay better attention to details.
You're welcome, Natalie.
Hi, Firma.
Tell us what's in business.
Apparently, production, or let me say, producers are not increasing their production costs as compared to last year. So goods on the market are going to see some sharp declines. So.
You like this. You like this. Christmas is around the corner.
I prefer to around the corner.
I prefer, yeah.
Let's get straight to our stories. And producer price inflation has recorded a sharp decline, falling to 1.4% in October 2025, down from 3.2% the previous month. This represents a 1.8 percentage point drop. This report has more details.
Fresh figures from the Ghana Statistical Service show that the decline was driven mainly by a significant slowdown in the mining and quarrying sector, the largest component of the index, with a weight of 43.7%. Producer inflation in the sector dropped steeply from 5% in September to 0.7% in October. The manufacturing sector, which makes up 35% of the PPI basket, recorded a modest rise from 1.7 to 2.5%, though still far below the 22.7% recorded a year ago. Meanwhile, the transport and storage subsector continued its negative inflation trend, slipping further from minus 8.2% to minus 8.8%, indicating a deeper reduction in producer prices during the month. The Statistical Service is recommending that the government directs incentives towards firms that expand capacity while addressing persistent bottlenecks in energy, transport, and logistics.
Now, streamlining the business registration process is crucial to encouraging informal businesses to formalize. This, according to a study conducted by the University of Ghana Business School and International Growth Center in collaboration with the Registrar of Companies, which found that reducing queues, simplifying documentation, and bringing services closer to business owners would remove key barriers that discourage registration. Daniel Ojo-Mensah has more.
The study, which involved more than 3,000 micro, small, and medium enterprises in Accra, also showed that providing direct support to business owners is more effective than educational interventions or fee reductions. Lead author and economist Professor Patrick Esumi told Channel One Business News that addressing procedural hurdles would significantly improve formalization rates among informal enterprises.
For registering is a major constraint. The fees is not a major constraint, and then the lack of knowledge of the benefits of formalization is not a major constraint. But the processes around how businesses leaving their business to have to go to the office of the Registrar of Companies and having to queue and even understanding which forms to fill, those are the major constraints. So we feel that if the process is decentralized, or a lot of the process is completely made automated and online, then those are really going to be very important by way of helping to formalize the informal sector. So I think then it to become important for, the whole idea is to move the process closer to the people.
Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority is proposing January 1, 2026 as the start date for the government's new VAT reforms. The reforms announced in the 2026 budget by Finance Minister Dr. Ato Forson includes scrapping of the COVID-19 levy, reducing the VAT rate from 21.9% to 20%, and reintegrating the GET Fund and NHIL levies into the main VAT structure. This report has more.
The Commissioner General, Anthony Sapon, noted that the revised VAT bill is currently before Parliament and expressed optimism that it will be passed and signed into law before the year ends. He made the remarks at the 2026 Post-Budget Forum organized by PricewaterhouseCoopers PwC in Accra.
The bill is currently before Parliament. Actually, from here, Parliament has started looking at it at 10 a.m. So from here, I'm going straight to join my team to make sure that we are responding to their questions and explaining. We are hoping and expecting that we will get parliamentary approval before they rise for the Christmas season, and hoping that the president will also be able to assent to it. So if all these plans goes well, we will expect that the implementation should start 1st January 2026.
A tax partner at PwC Ghana, Abeku Kwanzaa, has cautioned that the newly proposed VAT reforms could lead to operational challenges and fuel unfair competition if their implementation is not carefully managed.
Our hope and our dream and our wish is that government at least listens to these people
and ensure that if you are between 750 and $1 million, at least to start with, you allow them to operate their flat rate.
Meanwhile, the Chief Economics Officer and Director of the Real Sector Division at the Ministry of Finance, Samuel Dankwa Akest, highlighted key budget policies aimed at promoting agricultural diversification.
When you do a survey with farmers, one of the key risks that they face is adequate and cheap financing in agriculture. So that is one of the major elements that the budget is highlighting. Again, we have the farmer services centers that are going to be re-equipped to help our farmer folks around the country in all the regions to support our agriculture diversification.
The experts have stated that strengthening compliance levels will be key in achieving 2026 revenue target. For Channel One Business, I am Daniel Odro-Mensah.
Let's now bring you an update on how the currency is performing on the interbank market. And that's all for business. I am Neteli Ajahu. Back to you, Frema.
Thank you very much. Now to some other stories. The Ghana Armed Forces GAF has advanced preparations ahead of the resumption of the 2025-2026 military recruitment exercise in the Greater Accra region, scheduled to begin November 20. A visit by Channel One News to the Elwak Stadium in Accra revealed the erection of canopies and the setting up of designated areas for the screening of candidates.
An earlier statement from the Ghana Armed Forces indicated that the screening process will take place across 8 sub-centers located within 5 key areas in the Greater Accra region. The centers include the Elwak Stadium, Nicholson Park, Bema Camp, the Air Force Base, Bema Camp, the Training and Doctrine Command in Teshi, and the Eastern and Naval Commands in Tema.
A day to the resumption of the military recruitment exercise, service providers are busy here at the Elwak Sports Stadium putting things in place to ensure a smooth process. Canopies have been mounted, partitions have been made, and then the various designated centers for the respective activities in the registration process have also been marked. There is a part where candidates are expected to visit for screening and other parts where their details are expected to be taken.
In a bid to prevent congestion, all qualified applicants, according to the Ghana Armed Forces, will be grouped into batches of 600 and will receive via SMS notifications details of their reporting dates, batch numbers, and designated centers. The Greater Accra military recruitment exercise was suspended on November 12 following a tragic stampede at the Elwak Stadium, which claimed at least 6 lives and left several potential recruits in critical condition.
The managing director of the Ghana Water Limited, Adam Mutawakilu, says the Mahama administration is now exploring funding avenues for the construction of transmission lines needed to distribute water from the ongoing 20 million gallon per day expansion at the Daboase water treatment plant. Speaking on day 2 of his tour of water facilities in the Western region, Mr. Mutawakilu expressed satisfaction with the 96% progress of work, but revealed that a project design did not initially address how the additional 100,000 cubic meters of water per day would be transported to homes in Sekondi, Takrade and surrounding communities from March 2026. Channel One News' Akwesi Enim report from Daboase.
The salt curtain for the Daboase water treatment plant expansion, which is expected to deliver 20 million gallons of water per day, was done in the last quarter of 2020. However, actual construction commenced in April 2022, with completion date revised to March 2026. During a briefing for the Ghana Water Company's managing director, who has been touring Western region water installations over the past 2 days, the project consultant explained that the scope includes constructing an intake facility, treatment plant, dedicated power station, access roads and other key components, all of which are progressing steadily.
We started this project in April 2022, that's 3 years ago.
We are expected to finish on the 9th of March 2026. All three vehicles, as MD said. The scope of works, the entire scope is 20,000 meter cube intake plants, and then we have 100,000 meter cube treatment plants. They are in two portions. The next phase will have an additional 100,000 meter cube to be added to the supply of 100,000. We have the raw water transmission pipeline, as you know. We have the entire system for clear well. What we added on this one was the treated digital tank, also lamella, because of the quality of the Pra River.
Satisfied with the progress made, the Ghana Water Company Limited Managing Director, Adam Muta Wakilu, noted that government is now assessing how to finance the transmission infrastructure required to convey treated water to Sekendi, Takrade and its neighboring communities.
There will be another phase which is in respect to transmission, and we are now putting together notes to see how His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will be able to take it up to make sure that we have a dedicated transmission line for the new treatment plant. I'm very satisfied with the quality of work, very, very satisfied. And even with the additional things they are doing, which were not part of the contract, the construction of the bridge wasn't part of the contract, but they have constructed it for Ghana Water.
Some former workers of the Bogoso Prestia mines are appealing to government to compel Heath Goldfields Limited to pay months of outstanding entitlements, severance packages, bonuses, and other benefits owed them. Speaking to Channel 1 News at a press conference in Accra, Gabriel Madobe, a former worker who spoke on behalf of the group, said that the delay has caused devastating human consequences and some have even died without receiving their lawful entitlements. He also highlighted that some elderly and unwell former employees who dedicated decades to the mines now live in distress due to the prolonged uncertainty.
On September 3, 2024, the then Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abu-Jinapor, terminated the mining leases of Future Global Resources FGR, operators of the Bogoso Prestia mine. The decision to terminate the lease was allegedly precipitated by contractual and conditional breaches on the part of FGR. Speaking at a press conference in Accra, former worker and spokesperson for the group, Gabriel Adobe, says the payment timelines have been shifted repeatedly, making life unbearable for the ex-workers.
Families are suffering. Promises have not been kept. Payment timelines have shifted repeatedly, and many who have served Ghana mining industry for decades are being treated without dignity and fairness. The situation workers face is no longer bearable.
Some former workers of the Bogoso Prestia mines say that they have waited long enough and now they want action. They are calling on the government to step in swiftly, insisting that their demands are not just about money, but about justice, accountability, and basic dignity. For Channel 1 News, I am Sally Amakweku.
Now moving to the Ashanti region, security at the Kumasi High Court was tightened on Wednesday, November 19, 2025, following what many have described as an assault on relatives, including the father of Preslau Furi, popularly known as Odobruni, after proceedings on Tuesday, November 18. Tensions remain high as the court continues to hear the case, determining who is legally recognized as the surviving spouse of late highlife icon Charles Kweju Fosu, popularly known as Daddy Lumba, who passed away earlier this year. Channel 1 News' Ashanti regional correspondent Doris Lonta has more.
The disturbances on Tuesday began outside the courtroom when some individuals were seen wooing relatives of Preslau Ofori, the second defendant. When proceedings resumed on Wednesday, Channel 1 News learned that the matter had been reported to the court, prompting a heavy police presence. Security is now expected to be maintained throughout all sittings until the presiding judge issues a final ruling. Inside the courtroom, Ernestina Fosu, sister of the late musician and a witness for the plaintiff, Akosua Sewa, concluded her cross-examination. She maintained that Her brother's marriage to the plaintiff remained valid until his death, insisting he never married the second defendant, Priscilla Ofori, though they shared children. The court also heard from Safo Kantanka, an expert in Asante culture and traditions, provided cultural context relevant to the case. Although the defense questioned the propriety of the subpoena that brought him to court, the judge scheduled Thursday, November 20, for the defense to complete these checks, with cross-examination of the experts expected to resume on Friday, November 21.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Doris Lonta, Ashanti region.
Shippers from the middle zone of Ghana are urging the government to commit more resources to the Wankra Integrated Logistics Terminal built to increase the pace of work and help significantly reduce transportation costs for cargo. The contract is working on the project while indicating that work is 50% complete, noted that once more resources are received, the project can be completed much faster. Channel 1 News' Ashanti regional correspondent Fatih Aminu Ibrahim reports.
Musa Haruna, a rice farmer in Ejuso, says that for the first time in more than 10 years of farming, he is unable to mill his produce. He explains that paddy rice harvested since last year remains unsold, leaving him under serious financial pressure. Joseph Akanda, who has operated a rice mill for nearly 30 years, says he used to look forward to the profits that came with every harvest season. But that's changed about a year ago when patronage for local rice dropped dramatically.
Na almost percentage ya ma yese area no ya get free somewhere airport ba no adwane say make airport kura de a che no mani go te de mo hu no wo hwe e dia futu gu no ma be hu na o te mo te no na che wo ha pa ente no kwatan pa say adwane ye hu chire.
Francis Atanga says the situation is threatening the livelihoods of workers like himself, whose earnings depend on daily production. He notes that output has fallen from an average of 80 bags a day to about 30 on good days, significantly affecting their income.
The previous days, when the market was good, we were able to mill at least a day 80 bags, 75. Now that the market is not good, a day we can't even mill up to 30. We are facing a lot of challenges. How to even go to VRA to buy credit unit for the machine to be able to work. We are finding it difficult.
The millers are appealing to the government to step in quickly by purchasing the excess local rice from farmers to stabilize the industry.
You're still watching the Channel 1 Newsroom. Still ahead, Curacao makes history as the smallest nation ever to qualify for the FIFA World Cup 2026. We have the details coming shortly. Do stay.
Christmas, my favorite time of the year. This festive season, Volta Serene Hotel invites you to experience the magic of Christmas and New Year like never before. From 20th of December to the 1st of January, step into a world of joy, music, laughter, and celebration. We begin on the 20th with a soulful carols night, filling the air with warmth and melody. Then, on 23rd and 24th of December, arrive in style as we welcome you with fresh coconut and local treats. Christmas Day brings pure delight, exciting exciting moments for kids, relaxing escape for adults, and an elegant all-white dinner under the stars, crowned with a spectacular fireworks display. On Boxing Day, embrace culture and rhythm, from picnics and traditional dance to an unforgettable high life and old school night. As the week unfolds, enjoy movie night, live music, karaoke, and endless fun, until we welcome 2026 with a breathtaking fireworks show on New Year's Eve. Special Christmas packages starting from 4,050 for individuals, 5,250 for couples, and 8,900 Ghana cedis for a family of 4 for 2 nights. Call or WhatsApp 0541 539 867 or 0362 025 243 to book your experience today. Volta Serene Hotel. Feel the serene touch.
You are welcome to two of Ghana's finest addresses, Willow Lane and Alphabet City, located at Sakumo. Alphabet City is a premier gated community with 24/7 security. Willow Lane, where luxury meets comfort, spacious 4-bedroom homes with walk-in closet, elevators, and gourmet kitchens. 2 lifestyles, 1 trusted developer at Waylead. Our buildings are ready for you to move in right now. So visit waylead.org or call 0240 111119 to book a private tour today. Waylead, your trusted home builder.
Hey Ghana, so you people know Miss Brother once more. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the grades. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa, faha.
His uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again? Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Copy from your jet be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter what you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you're poor, what's that? So would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey!
Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
You're welcome back. Next is Channel 1 Sports with Gabi Ofe. Gabi, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Let's just go straight to sports.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. Now, the list of countries set to compete in intercontinental playoffs for the final 2 sets at the 2026 FIFA World Cup is now complete. Now, the last round of continental qualifiers wrapped up on Tuesday, November 18, with Haiti, Curaçao, and Panama securing their places from the CONCACAF region for next year's global showpiece. Now, Africa's reps will be for the playoffs will be JRC of Congo, and will be joined by the other countries that will be aiming to reach the 9 African countries already qualified for the 2026 World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. Curaçao became the smallest country ever to qualify for the FIFA World Cup, while Haiti will make only their second appearance in the tournament's history. Bolivia, Suriname, New Caledonia, and Jamaica have joined the Democratic Republic of Congo and Iraq in the Intercontinental Playoff Mini-Tournament, scheduled to take place in Mexico from March 23 to 31, 2026. Based on the latest FIFA rankings, DR Congo and Iraq have been seeded and will advance directly to the final round of the mini-tournament, where they'll face the winners of the semi-final matchups. A special draw to determine the semi-final pairings, featuring Bolivia, New Caledonia, Jamaica, and Suriname, will be held at the FIFA headquarters in Switzerland on Thursday, November 20 at 12 p.m. DR Congo, serving as Africa's representative, will be aiming to secure one of the final 2 World Cup slots and join the 9 African nations already qualified for next summer's global showpiece. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, former Super Eagles midfielder John Mikel Obi has blamed the Nigerian Football Federation for failing to create the right atmosphere for the team, an issue he believes contributed to their inability to qualify for the playoffs.
It's going to be 3 World Cups going to miss in a row. And that, my friend, it's not acceptable.
Right, and that's the very latest in the world of sport. I am Gabi Ofer. Back to you, friends.
Thank you very much, Gabi. And that's how we wrap up. This has been the Channel 1 Newsroom. I'm Frema Edunyame.